Yeah, we're good. Okay, so I love that everything is sort of like perfectly mise en place.
Mise en place.
Is this just how you sort of live your life?
So you want the truth?
Yeah,
right?
I want the truth.
When I'm just cooking for my family at home, I usually do not lay everything out so perfectly.
But
like,
when you have a special guest of honor,
when I have
such
a
as
special,
myself.
yes, 1000%.
So I am with Athena Calderone in her gorgeous home. What neighborhood are we in?
We're in Cobble Hill, Brooklyn.
We're gonna stay here in the kitchen
We
and
are.
make a delicious meal because one of my favorite cookbooks is Athena's, Cook
Thank
Beautiful, which we just so happen to have a copy of right here.
We do.
The thing that I love about the cookbook is that it's set up by season. So you can kind of flip to the season that you're in,
Yes.
and the recipes will reflect what should be more or less fresh, seasonal, available at that moment, and also dishes I think that you kind of want to eat during that time period.
Yeah.
In the fall, there are like more rustic dishes. In the spring, it's like brighter, lighter fare.
100%.
So what do we have today?
I tend to, in the summers, just because there's so many amazing fruits that are popping up everywhere, I tend to like a veggie fruit salad. So that's kind of what we're making today.
Okay.
We have these TriStar strawberries, which, you know,
I have to have one because
I know, I
they
haven't had
just
one
look
either.
so like lusciously
they're so
delicious.
sweet.
This is good. Yep.
So good. So then I have Sun Gold tomatoes, which is, you know, my favorite summer tomato, just because, again, they're super sweet.
Okay, so put me to work. What do I need to do?
Okay, so we have our cucumbers, but we're just gonna cut these in like 1/2-inch discs. Can I show you a trick though?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So if there's like something when you're chopping like an onion or, you know, a cucumber like we are now, there's something called like the claw.
Okay.
And you can hold your hand like this. And then if you kind of claw the amount you want and then you let the knife rest against your fingers, you can kind of use your nails as a guide so that you kind of get the same amount of slices. Citronette is it's like a vinaigrette, but it actually has a lot more citrus in it. So we're gonna zest this.
Okay.
How do you feel about zesting?
Yeah, I feel great about zesting.
Okay.
I'm a good zester.
I'm a good zester.
So you have the most beautiful ceramic dishes ever. I mean,
Yes.
everything that we have here so far is gorgeous. Where do you get them? Is this something that you've like collected over time, or?
I was always like a little envious of people that like they had a thing wherever they traveled that they always like brought something home, like I don't even know what, matches even, you know. And so every time I travel, I pick up 1 or 2 or 3 or 4
I hear
ceramics.
you. That is my favorite thing to pick up when
Yeah, these came from Lyon when I was shooting my next book at like a little shop in France.
Okay.
And this came from Copenhagen.
And I love that you have that story, you have that memory. This is like a thing that you're using regularly that kind of reminds you of
Yes.
that.
So I'm just trimming the stem of the strawberry off, and I'm gonna leave these whole unless like one is a little extra large. I might slice it in half.
Okay.
But if they're like little petite guys, I'll leave it whole.
Okay, so two
2 limes. You can cut
limes.
those in half.
Okay.
I love to use a mason jar when I'm making a vinaigrette because it's just like easy to shake.
Shake.
Yeah, I mean, you should be
Pro tip.
whisking it. Yeah, pro tip. In a salad that you really want to kind of taste these like incredibly sweet, delicate flavors, sometimes olive oil can like take over. So I'm going to use grapeseed oil, which is a mild oil and it has 0 flavor at all, but I'm going to mix it with the olive oil.
Okay, so like
So-
half?
Yeah, half. So this is a tablespoon of honey,
This is our grapeseed oil.
grapeseed oil, and our olive oil.
And do you do any like salt and pepper, or is it just?
Yes, I'm gonna do some Maldon sea salt. We're gonna put the zest in there. I'm like, something's missing.
Oh, there we go.
I'm gonna give it a shake.
Yep.
And then I'm just gonna cut the tomatoes in half. Yeah, go
Yeah, a
for
little
it.
shake.
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 So I'm gonna chop up a serrano chili. Serranos are pretty spicy, so if you don't like crazy spice, use a different chili. Like a Fresno chili is a little more mild. Even a jalapeno is a little more mild. And also, if you want that touch of heat, but you don't want it to overpower, you're better off taking the interior seeds out because it's actually the seeds that are spiciest. Yeah, I'm gonna just do.
There we go. Chef skills in action. I like it. That's what I can't do.
So I'm just gonna put a little bit. So
Are we chopping mint and tarragon?
Yes.
Together? Okay. Okay, sprinkle.
Go for it. Give it a sprinkle. I'm gonna just pour like half of the dressing and toss it, and then give it a taste. So at this point, I'll season with some salt, grab some fresh pepper, then taste it. See if it needs more herbs, see if it needs more dressing. I don't think it needs more dressing.
Get like one of each little bit. What do you think? Delicious.
Good. I think it needs more of the lime zest.
Okay.
And I think it needs a little more herb. And you know, that's why it's so important, again, to like trust your palate. Because sometimes the recipe, you know, sometimes you might buy tarragon that isn't as pungent as like when I developed the recipe, you know?
Right, totally. What's your strategy for dealing with goat cheese? You like pick it apart?
Just like.
Okay, I like that strategy. It's like a little boop. Just don't miss. I'm just like such a sure shot. It's all landing in the same place.
What do we think?
I mean, it looks gorge. Sam, what do you think? Does it look gorge?
It does.
Can you see?
I'm gonna taste.
Okay.
Right before you serve anything, if there is any citrus, whether it's like orange, lemon, lime, it's always so pretty to just have that like fresh shave of something.
Is that your special technique trick for this one?
A little bit. I mean, like a couple of like maybe sprigs of like not chopped herbs, like just thrown in there, and call it a day.
I'm gonna like goat cheese fingers. Are we talking about your next book yet?
We can, sure.
It's a book about interiors. Can we eat while we're talking?
Let's eat and talk. My background is in interior design. I have my 2 homes here in Brooklyn and in Amagansett, and then just different designers that have inspired me, and some of them I knew, and some of them have been really dear friends, and some are people that I just admired on Instagram and just like blindly reached out and said, you know, I'm really inspired by the work that you do, and I'd love to share your design story. And what I've really tried to do, I really wanted the book to be actionable in a similar way that Cook Beautiful teaches people about presentation. I wanted to really kind of break down why certain design works. Like, what's that alchemy that comes together? What was that first point of inspiration? And then really extracting tips for the reader of me giving people advice like, well, this is why.
This is why this all works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is how you can execute it.
Cool. When is that going to come out? Sorry, we're too busy eating.
Oh my God, that was such a good bite too. It comes out spring 2020. It's such a long process.
Yeah, totally. Well, we're going to keep eating this amazing, delicious salad.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for having me, for going to the market, getting these delicious things, for walking me through this. I continue to cook from your cookbook all the time.
Makes me
and I
so
love and adore
happy.
you. Just period in general.
Patrick.
Thank you so much, babe.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
All right.
And guys, when this finally airs, do let me know if you have any questions, DM me, and share photos.
Definitely follow Athena on Instagram. See all of her beautiful work. You'll love it.